Okay, that
My
looks like
friends.
it took. And welcome to Speaking of Listening. I'm happy that you're here today. I have a very special guest that I'm really excited about. I'm Arnie Buss, and joining me today is Janine Noss. Now, she's going to be talking about how trauma impacts healthy relationships. Now, Janine is a certified grief and trauma relief specialist, and she supports people who are in grief due to trauma so that they can stop suffering and be able to more easily navigate their healing process. She's amazingly credentialed. She's a certified calm, accepting, resilient, and empathetic care trauma practitioner. She's a founder of the Breaking the Silence Summit, and she's also the author of Creating Heaven Wherever I Am. What a beautiful title. It's a book series that focuses on self-help topics, including overcoming trauma. In addition, she's the creator of the Stop Suffering Now system. She's a #1 international best-selling author whose singular focus is moving past trauma, moving past that stuck place. And her message is one of hope, that there's a way out to the other side. And Janine, congratulations on your #1 international best-selling status. That's quite an accomplishment. And thank you so much for being with us today.
Arnie, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you.
Well, we're so happy to have you.
Mm.
Today, we're delving into the deep impact of trauma on healthy relationships. It's a challenging topic, but it's a very important one. Let's start by exploring the individual impact of trauma. Can you tell us about some of the emotional effects of trauma can have on individuals in relationships?
Arnie, absolutely. I'd be happy to. See, trauma can have a profound emotional impact on individuals, and it greatly influences how we navigate our relationships. Trust issues often emerge as a result of the trauma, and as it erodes our ability to trust ourselves and others. And it's like a protective shield that we put up, making it hard to fully trust and be vulnerable in a relationship. And we may find ourselves being guarded and skeptical, always questioning the intentions of those around us. It's important to acknowledge that these trust issues are not a reflection of our character or our shortcomings. They are a natural response to what we've been through. Furthermore, this struggle with intimacy is a common challenge for trauma survivors. Opening ourselves up to emotionally can be incredibly scary, and we fear vulnerability and the impact of being hurt again. And it's like walking on a tightrope, constantly grappling with the balance between longing for connection and protecting ourselves from further pain. And as a result, we may find it hard to establish and maintain emotional closeness. Deep connections and true intimacy can feel out of reach, leaving us feeling isolated and disconnected in our relationships. It's important to approach these challenges with self compassion and understanding. And then healing from trauma takes time and patience. It's crucial to surround yourself with understanding and supportive individuals who can walk this path with us. Seeking therapy or with a trauma specialist like myself or a support group specifically tailored to trauma survivors can provide a safe space to explore these emotional challenges and learn strategies to foster healing in our relationships. Now, remember, it's okay to take small steps and set boundaries as we navigate the complexities of trauma in relationships. Honoring our own healing journey is essential, and we should give ourselves permission to prioritize self care and engage in activities that promote our emotional well being. With time, patience, and support, we can gradually rebuild trust, embrace vulnerability, and cultivate healthy and more fulfilling connections in our relationships.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, trust and intimacy are such crucial components of healthy relationships. Can you tell us about some other emotional effects trauma can have on individuals and relationships?
Oh, sure, sure. You've touched upon two more important emotional effects of trauma in relationships. Emotional reactivity is a common challenge for trauma survivors, as our emotional responses can become heightened. It's as if the volume dial on our emotions gets turned up. making us more sensitive to triggers and perceived threats. And we may find ourselves experiencing intense emotional outbursts, becoming defensive, or even completely shutting down when we sense danger. These reactions can strain our relationships, as our partners may struggle to understand and navigate these intense emotions. And furthermore, trauma can also lead to emotional numbing as a protective mechanism. So it's like a part of us goes into hibernation, disconnecting from our emotions, and we may find it difficult to express our feelings, experience pleasure, or truly connect with others. And this emotional detachment can make it challenging to fully engage in our relationships and show up as our authentic selves. And it's important to recognize that this numbing is not a sign of weakness or a character flaw. It's a coping mechanism that we develop to protect ourselves in navigating these emotional effects. It's crucial to approach ourselves with compassion and understanding. And it's important to give ourselves permission to feel and acknowledge emotions, even if they are intense or contradictory. Seeking therapy, work with a trauma specialist like myself, or join some support group, because it can provide you a safe space to explore and process these emotions, and then learn healthy coping strategies. And then you can gradually regain a sense of emotional balance. In our relationships, open and honest communication becomes even more vital. Sharing our experiences and concerns with our partners can help them better understand our emotional reactions and provide the support we need. And establishing boundaries and finding ways to regulate our emotions, such as practicing grounding techniques or engaging in self-soothing activities, that can also be helpful. Together, we can create a safe and supportive space where our emotions are acknowledged and validated, fostering deeper understanding and connection in our relationships. Now, remember, healing from trauma takes time, and it's a journey that unfolds differently for each individual. So it's important to be patient with ourselves and our partners as we navigate these emotional challenges. And with compassion, support, and a commitment to growth, we can gradually heal and build healthier, more fulfilling relationships.
Oh, thank you for shedding some light on these emotional effects of trauma. It's so important to have an emotional connection with ourself, and the trauma, when that disconnects that, then it's so hard to create the kind of intimacy that we always want in relationships. These are significant challenges in every relationship. Now I'd like to explore the behavioral effects trauma can have on individuals. Could you tell us more about that?
Oh, sure. I highlighted, or actually, you've highlighted some important and behavioral effects that trauma can have on individuals in relationships. So let's delve deeper into these effects and explore ways to navigate them with compassion and understanding. See, avoidance behaviors are a common response to trauma. And as survivors, we may actively avoid situations, conversations, or even specific triggers that remind us of the traumatic experience. And we do this to protect ourselves from re-traumatization, but it can create challenges in our relationships. It's important for both ourselves and our partners to be aware of these avoidance patterns and find ways to create a safe and supportive environment where we can gradually face and process these triggers together. And building trust and open communication can also help us navigate these avoidance behaviors and foster deeper connection. Hypervigilance is another behavioral effect that trauma survivors often experience. We become hyper alert, constantly scanning our surroundings for potential threats. And this state of heightened vigilance can be exhausting and make it difficult to fully relax and be present in our relationships. And recognizing and acknowledging this hypervigilance is the first step towards healing. And we can work on gradually cultivating a sense of safety and security within our relationships by practicing grounding techniques, mindfulness exercise, engaging in self-care activities that promote relaxation and stress reduction. And self-isolation is also a common coping mechanism for trauma survivors. So we may withdraw from social interactions and isolate ourselves as a means of self-protection. So it's important to understand that this isolation is not a reflection of our worth or value as individuals. Instead, again, it's a response to the pain that we've experienced. And rebuilding social connections and support networks can be a gradual process. And engaging in activities or groups that align with our interests and our values can help us connect with like-minded individuals who understand and support our healing journey. So in our relationships, it's crucial for our partners to approach us with empathy and patience. And they can offer support by creating a safe space where we feel heard and understood and respected, and encouraging open communication and expressing genuine concern and care can help us navigate these behavioral effects together. So it's important to remember that healing is not a linear process, and it's okay to take breaks and set boundaries when needed. By approaching these behavioral effects with compassion and understanding, we can work towards building healthier and more fulfilling relationships. And seeking therapy or go to coaching, or let's say counseling sessions, they can individually or as a couple can provide additional guidance and support in navigating these challenges. So together we can create an environment where healing, growth, and connection can flourish.
Wow, that's tremendous insight on how all of the behavioral effects can impact every aspect of relationships. Thanks for sharing that perspective.
Thank you.
Now let's move on to the relationship impact of trauma. Can you tell us about the communication challenges trauma survivors may face?
Oh, sure, Arnie. See, communication can be significantly affected by trauma within relationships. And I'd like to explore this topic a little further and discuss strategies for overcoming these challenges with compassion and empathy. Poor communication is a common struggle for trauma survivors, and emotional and psychological impact of trauma can make it difficult for us to effectively express our needs, concerns, or our emotions. And we may find ourselves struggling to find the right words or feeling overwhelmed by the fear of being misunderstood. And this can lead to frustration and a sense of disconnect within our relationships. It's important for both partners to approach these communication barriers with patience and understanding. And taking the time to actively listen and validate each other's experiences can create a safe space for open and honest communication. And in addition to poor communication, trauma-related triggers can often lead to misunderstandings and conflicts within relationships. Our past traumas can shape the way we interpret certain words, actions, or behaviors, causing us to misinterpret our partner's intentions. So it's crucial for both partners to approach these situations with empathy and curiosity. And instead of jumping to conclusions or becoming defensive, we can create a space for open dialogue where we seek to understand each other's perspective. And through active listening and compassionate communication, we can work together to overcome misunderstandings and build a stronger foundation of trust and understanding. Building effective communication in the aftermath of trauma requires patience and practice. And it's important for both partners to be aware of their own triggers and to communicate them to one another. And by understanding each other's triggers and learning to navigate them sensitively, we can create an environment that fosters open and safe communication. So practicing active listening, validating each other's experiences, and expressing emotions without judgment are essential tools in overcoming these communication challenges. And it may be also beneficial to seek the guidance of a therapist or a coach or a counselor who can provide specific strategies and techniques to enhance communication within the context of trauma. So remember, healing from trauma is a journey that takes time and effort. By approaching communication challenges with compassion, empathy, and willingness to grow together, we can gradually rebuild and strengthen the lines of communication within our relationships.
Yeah, thanks for highlighting the importance of effective communication in relationships. That's something that's very dear to my heart, and that's what I work a lot with people on. And it is so important to hear, understand, and validate each other, and learn how to do that. We do need to typically learn that from someone else, because somehow we never learned that growing up. I don't know why. So now what about attachment issues? How does trauma affect them?
Yes. Um, Attachment issues are a significant area of impact when it comes to trauma and relationships. So let's delve a little deeper into this topic and explore how trauma can shape attachment patterns. One common attachment issue that trauma survivors may experience is a fear of abandonment. The traumatic experiences we've endured can leave us with a deep-seated fear of being left or rejected by our partners. And this fear can manifest in clinginess or neediness as we constantly seek reassurance and validation from our loved ones. And the trauma we've experienced has taught us that people we care about can leave, and this fear can make it challenging to trust and feel secure in our relationships. So it's important for both partners to approach this fear with patience, understanding, and consistent reassurance, creating a safe and stable environment that fosters a sense of security. And conversely, some trauma survivors may exhibit an avoidant behavior as a defense mechanism. And to protect themselves, they do this to protect themselves from potential future harm or vulnerability that they may push away their partners and create an emotional distance. And this avoidance can create challenges in establishing and maintaining emotional closeness and intimacy within the relationship. So it's essential to approach these avoidant behaviors with empathy and compassion, understanding that they stem from a place of self-protection. And encouraging open communication and creating a safe space for vulnerability can help to slowly rebuild trust and encourage a secure attachment style. And navigating attachment issues is the aftermath of trauma, and that also requires patience and understanding and open dialogue. Both partners must be willing to explore their own attachment patterns and work together to create a secure and balanced attachment within the relationship. So it's crucial to seek professional help if needed. And as a therapist or a coach can provide guidance and techniques on address the attachment challenges specific to the trauma. And remember, healing and growth are possible. And by approaching attachment issues with empathy, compassion, and a commitment to fostering a secure and supportive environment, trauma survivors can gradually develop healthier attachment patterns and find greater fulfillment in their relationships.
Uh, I love how there's this recurring theme of empathy and compassion and just not beating ourselves up over things that are just reactions to the trauma that people have experienced in the past.
Mhm.
That's a wonderful message.
Thank you.
These can complicate relationships.
Yes. Yes, very
So
much.
let's not move on to the challenges trauma can pose in terms of intimacy and sexuality. Can you shed some light on that?
Oh, sure. Um, Intimacy and sexuality can be profoundly affected by trauma, and it's important to approach these challenges with sensitivity and compassion. Let's explore the impact trauma can have on these aspects of relationships and how we can navigate them together. See, many trauma survivors experience sexual difficulties as a direct result of their traumatic experiences. The trauma may have created associations between certain sensations, situations, or experiences and the traumatic event itself. And these associations can trigger distress, anxiety, or even flashbacks during intimate moments, making it challenging to engage in sexual activity without feeling overwhelmed or re-traumatized. It's crucial for both partners to approach this with patience, understanding, and open communication, and creating a safe space to discuss boundaries, triggers, and fears can help foster a sense of trust and safety within the intimate realm. And moreover, trauma survivors may also experience disassociation during intimate moments. Disassociation is a defense mechanism that allows us to mentally detach from distressing experiences. However, during intimate encounters, disassociation can create emotional and physical barriers to connections and prevent us from fully engaging with our own experiences and our partner. It's important to approach this with empathy and understanding, recognizing that disassociation is not a conscious choice, but a response to trauma. Building trust and intimacy gradually while being mindful of each other's needs and limitations can help create a safe and nurturing space for healing. So exploring these challenges with a therapist and a coach, or someone who specializes in trauma and intimacy, can be immensely helpful. And they can provide guidance, tools, and techniques to navigate these complexities and support the healing process. So remember, healing is a journey that requires patience, understanding, and open communication. Together as partners, you can create an environment that fosters trust, safety, and emotional connection, allowing for the possibility of intimacy and sexuality to be reimagined in a way that feels comfortable and healing for both individuals. And it's important to remind yourself that everyone's healing journey is unique. Progress may take time, but with compassion, support, and open communication, trauma survivors can gradually reclaim their sense of intimacy and experience a fulfilling and healthy sexual connection within their relationships.
That is such an important perspective on understanding the challenges that trauma survivors face in intimacy and sexuality. I mean, that's challenging enough without the trauma. And even with trauma, that can just kind of just make things so hard to understand what the heck is going on.
Yes.
And again, communication, empathy, compassion, communication, communication.
Communication.
So important. Thanks for sharing that.
Sure.
Now, let's talk about triggers and flashbacks. How can they impact relationships?
Yes. Well, triggers and flashbacks can deeply impact relationships, and it's essential for both partners to approach them with empathy and compassion. I know I repeat that a few times, but it's very important to keep saying that. So let's delve into how these experiences can affect us and explore ways to navigate them together. See, triggers, whether they are certain words, actions, or situations, can elicit strong emotional and physical responses in trauma survivors, and they have the power to bring back traumatic memories or intense emotions associated with the past trauma. And when the triggers occur within the context of a relationship, they can create distress and disrupt the connection between partners. So it's crucial for both individuals to be aware of each other's triggers and to establish open and honest communication about them. And by creating a safe space where triggers can be acknowledged and understood, partners can work together to minimize their impact and support each other through these challenging moments. In addition to triggers, flashbacks are another experience that trauma survivors may encounter. And see, flashbacks are intrusive memories or re-experiencing of the traumatic event, and they occur during intimate or vulnerable moments and can be overwhelming for both the survivor and their partner. And it's important to approach flashbacks with patience and understanding and support. And remember, flashbacks are not a choice, but a result of the trauma survivor's mind trying to process and cope with the past. Providing reassurance, grounding techniques, or simply being present and offering comfort can be immensely helpful during these episodes. Building trust and understanding is essential to navigating triggers and flashbacks within a relationship. It may be beneficial to seek guidance again from a therapist or a coach who specializes in trauma to explore coping mechanisms and strategies that can help manage these experiences. And by working together, partners can create an environment of safety and support, allowing for healing and growth. Now, it's important to remember that both partners are affected by triggers and flashbacks, and supporting each other through these experiences is crucial. So by fostering open communication, practicing patience, and offering empathy, we can create a foundation of love and understanding that allows the relationship to thrive, even in the face of these challenges.
Oh, that's so insightful about how these triggers and flashbacks affects everybody around the trauma survivor. Thanks for sharing that insight.
Thank
It's
you.
clear it has a multidimensional impact. So let's move on to the healing and growth aspect. What are some steps that individuals can take to facilitate their own healing?
Absolutely, I could do that for you. It's individual healing is a significant aspect of the journey for trauma survivors. So it's essential to recognize that healing takes time and that seeking therapy or trauma specialist like myself and professional support can be incredibly beneficial. And therapists and coaches who specialize in trauma can provide guidance and validation and a safe space for you to explore your experiences, process the emotions tied to the trauma, and develop coping mechanisms that are tailored to your specific needs. And while therapy and coaching are invaluable resources, it's also important to engage in self-care activities as part of your healing process, something I also specialize. Self-care looks different for everyone as it involves identifying what brings you joy, relaxation, and a sense of well-being. And it can be as simple as taking a walk in nature, practicing mindfulness or meditation, engaging in creative outlets, or spending quality time with loved ones. Self-care is about nourishing yourself and attending to your emotional, mental, and physical well-being. And by prioritizing self-care, you can cultivate a sense of balance and resilience, which allows you to show up more fully in your relationships. It's important to approach your healing journey with self-compassion and patience. And healing from trauma is not linear, and there may be setbacks that may occur along the way. So it's important, and it's also to know that it's normal to experience ups and downs while you're on this journey. And it's okay to give yourself permission to take breaks when you need it. So each step forward, no matter how small, is a testament to your strength and resilience. In addition to individual healing, it's essential to acknowledge the importance of relationship support. And partners can play a crucial role in your healing process by offering patience and understanding and empathy, and by creating a safe and supportive environment within the relationship. Partners can provide a foundation of love and acceptance that allows for healing to take place. Seeking couples therapy is also something that can be beneficial in addressing trauma-related issues and improving communication and rebuilding trust. Lastly, building resilience is a key aspect of our healing journey, and this involves developing healthy coping strategies that help us manage triggers and stress within relationships. And it may involve learning relaxation techniques, practicing mindfulness, and engaging activities that promote self-expression and self-reflection. Educating ourselves about trauma and its effects can also be empowering, as it allows us to better understand our experiences and communicate our needs to our partners. And remember, healing is a deeply personal and individual process, and it's important to honor our own unique journey. And by seeking support, it fosters it can foster relationship support and building resilience, and we can embark on a path of healing and growth, ultimately creating a stronger foundation for ourselves and our relationships.
Thank you for emphasizing the importance of therapy, professional support, and self-care in the healing process.
Mhm.
Now, you touched on partners. What about support within the relationship? Can you talk a little more about how partners can provide support during this journey?
Sure, Ernie. Partners have a crucial role in supporting each other through the healing journey. And it's important to approach this journey with patience and understanding and empathy, recognizing that healing from trauma takes time and that there will be ups and downs along the way. And it creates a nurturing environment within the relationship too. So one of the most powerful ways partners can provide support is by being present and actively listening to each other. And this means setting aside distractions, creating space for open and honest conversations, and genuinely seeking to understand each other's experiences. Active listening involves not only hearing the words spoken, but also paying attention to nonverbal cues and emotions. It's about being fully engaged and attuned to each other's needs. Validation is another essential aspect of support. Validating our partner's experiences means acknowledging and accepting their emotions and reactions without judgment. It's about affirming that their feelings are real and valid, even if we may not fully understand or have experienced the same trauma. And validating our partner's experiences fosters a sense of safety and trust, allowing them to open up and share more vulnerably. And couples therapy can be a valuable resource for partners to navigate the challenges of trauma that it can bring in a relationship. And a skilled therapist can provide a dedicated and neutral space to address trauma-related issues, improve communication, and rebuild trust. And they can facilitate effective dialogue, offer tools and techniques for navigating triggers and conflicts, and provide guidance on fostering a healthier, more resilient relationship. So it's important for partners to be aware of their own limitations and self-care needs while providing support. Taking care of ourselves allows us to show up more fully for our partners, engaging in our own self-care practices, seeking our own support through therapy and support groups, and maintaining healthy boundaries are all crucial aspects of partner support. So remember, this journey requires ongoing effort and understanding from both partners. It's not always easy, but by prioritizing open communication, active listening, validation, and seeking professional help when needed, partners can navigate the challenges of healing together and grow stronger as a couple.
Thank you for emphasizing the role of partners in providing support and the benefits of, therapy and working with coaches. And lastly, how can individuals and couples build resilience in the face of trauma's impact?
Oh, sure. Building resilience is a powerful way to navigate the impact of trauma on relationships. One key aspect of building resilience is developing healthy coping strategies. And these strategies can vary for each individual, but they often involve practices such as mindfulness, grounding techniques, or engaging in creative outlets like art or journaling. And these activities provide a sense of grounding and help individuals manage triggers and stress within the relationship. Education and awareness about trauma and its effects are also crucial in building resilience. And by increasing our knowledge about trauma, we gain a deeper understanding of its impact on ourselves and our partners. And this understanding fosters empathy and compassion, allowing us to create a more supportive environment within the relationship. So it's important to remember that everyone's experience of trauma is unique, and learning about the specific ways it affects our partner can help us better support them. So it's essential to approach the journey of building resilience with patience and self-compassion. And healing from trauma takes time and effort, and setbacks are a normal part of the process. So it's important to be gentle with ourselves and our partners, and acknowledging that progress is not always linear, and celebrate those small victories and milestones along the way. And remember that resilience is a gradual process. Ongoing support is also crucial in building resilience. And the support can come, again, through all those sources I shared earlier, like therapy, support groups, even trusted friends and family members. And when you're seeking professional help when needed, it can provide additional guidance and tools for building resilience as individuals as well as a couple. And lastly, creating a culture of open communication and mutual understanding within the relationship is vital. And by fostering an environment where both partners feel safe to express their needs, concerns, and emotions, resilience can flourish. And this involves active listening, validating each other's experiences, and engaging in collaborative problem solving. And remember, building resilience is a journey, and it's unique to each couple. So by prioritizing healthy coping strategies, education and awareness, self-compassion, ongoing support, and open communications, individuals and couples can navigate the impact of trauma in their relationship and emerge stronger and more resilient together.
These are such important insights and strategies for building resilience in the face of trauma's impact. Thanks for sharing those. Your compassionate and empathetic perspective is truly appreciated. To me, the three of the pillars are, empathy, compassion, and effective communication, things that you've emphasized throughout.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your kind words. And I'm glad that the insights and strategies resonated with you. Building resilience in the face of trauma's impact on relationships is indeed a challenging journey, but it's one that can bring about incredible growth and healing. So thank you once again for recognizing the importance of compassion and empathy in this conversation. So it's truly an honor to be able to share these insights, and I hope that they can provide some comfort and guidance to those who are navigating, the challenges of trauma within their relationships.
Janine, you're most welcome. You've given us so much valuable information. Now, for those who are watching who want to connect with you or are interested in working with you, how can they get in touch?
Oh, yes. For those who are curious about working with me, I offer support via my one-on-one coaching and through my Stop Suffering Now group program. And for your followers, I set up a page where you can download my free workbook to discover secrets to your true nature and learn to create inspired actions from your heart. And on the same page, your followers can also choose to schedule a complimentary healing call with me, and where we can offer some guidance and provide some relief. And during the call, if you're interested in hearing about working with me, we can talk about that on the call as well. So you can reach me at www.griefandtraumarelief.com/now. And I also have a special event that's coming up on June 14th, 15th, and 16th. That's my free masterclass. It's the 3-step process to making peace with your past and end suffering. And this event is designed to support trauma survivors in navigating their healing journey. And in this masterclass, you'll learn solid long-term strategies to help you move forward and make peace with past emotions and take healthy actions towards your transformation. Every so often, I host this live masterclass that provides attendees with proven long-term strategies to move on in life, transition from challenging emotions, and take positive steps towards their transformation. And if you missed the most recent live event, be sure to click on the link for the upcoming dates, because I do have them periodically.
Okay, that is so generous. Thank you for that. Thank you, Janine. The links will be provided in the chat, so you can get on a call with Janine or join her masterclass. That sounds fantastic. Janine, thank you so much for your time and for sharing your experience and wisdom with us in this very important topic.
You're so very welcome. Thank you for the opportunity to share with your audience today.
And thank you for listening in. And until next time, remember that listening is loving.
Thank you.